Hey there, Laker fans. Welcome to Lakers Extra Detailed. This is the Spurs postgame commentary. Appreciate all the folks that are tuning in this late at night. This is going to be like a 10-minute one. I'm trying to get these post games done in 10 minutes because it doesn't make sense to sit around and complain for 30 minutes or 60 minutes. So let's just jump right into it. Lakers drop a game to the Spurs after a break, after a week long break, I would say, after dropping a very winnable game against Dallas. Granted, the fire thing was happening, so it is what it is. So I understand, but the pregame quotes about JJ Redick getting really great practice sessions 3 days in a row with the Lakers in lieu of all the games getting postponed. Kind of gives you an idea of maybe where they would be at in terms of their execution. The exact opposite is what happened today. They were not good. Their execution was not good from the start. Mind you, we did beat the Spurs in 2 close games in San Antonio. So I think San Antonio was very locked in on this game in terms of just kind of how they're going to play us. A lot of young guys, a lot of athletes, they're going to have a lot of pride. They're not going to just kind of come in and just assume that the Lakers are going to beat them. But dude, today's game was just awful. Lakers go up 10 with about in the third quarter, and just I think the Spurs call a timeout, and the Lakers just completely forget how to play basketball on both ends. Like just a turnover. Devin Vassell catches AD on a switch. I'm going to talk about the switching in a second. I'm going to dedicate some serious time to it, but I'm just trying to think of like individual plays. Like Devin Vassell dunks on AD. The very next play down, Max Christie throws a flat angle pass to AD, which gets stolen, and Wemby throws down a windmill, which is funny to watch because he's so tall. So he doesn't really get up that much, but like from that point onwards, like it was just an easy score over and over and over again. So Lakers, their defense was really poor, like really, really poor. And Braun had a very rough game today too. I think typically when he gets rest, I think you get. I think if you ask most Braun fans, you'll typically get a bad game from him, but just a lot of turnovers. Didn't shoot that much. Wasn't really being aggressive in transition. Um, I thought it was one of those games where like Braun's just kind of feeling himself out. I thought in the first quarter that's what he was trying to do, and then he kind of picked up the pace in the third quarter, but it never showed up. Like he did that against Dallas and Houston, but it didn't happen so much this game. It was just really really poor execution. But let's just get to the defense because the defense has been like a huge issue. Um, Losing the Houston game, I understood because Houston's a physical team. They're a good team. So I understand like that happening. Like I definitely understand losing to a Houston team because they're a good team. Losing the Dallas game was very disappointing. Losing this game off the heels of losing the Dallas game was extremely disappointing. Um, and this is not about like Dallas would technically be worse than the Spurs, but the fact that we came into this game and switched everything, it's legitimately bad. Like I don't think people understand. I'm trying to figure out what exactly what the Lakers think they're doing when they give up those switches. And today was a day where you played against a 5 man that doesn't really like to post up, and when he does screen, he's primarily trying to set up like an open three. And I think Wemby had a couple threes in the first quarter, or sorry, in the first half. And for some reason, the Lakers would just automatically give up the switches. And I do not understand. They weren't like 3, 4 switches. It wasn't like um, it wasn't like, you're switching like Wemby and whoever, Harrison Barnes, like Braun and AD are switching or Rui and AD are switching. Like the Lakers were literally switching 1 5s and 2 5s. And I don't understand why that was happening. And it wasn't anything exotic. Wemby's not delivering like amazing screens. Like they're very half-hearted screens. He's slipping them majority of the time, and I don't understand why the Lakers are switching the way they are. It makes 0 sense. And then the worst part that's happening is they're leaving guys on an island. So like you're making Austin have to defend Harrison Barnes or have to defend whoever's trying to post him up, and then you're not helping. And I don't know what it is that the Lakers think they're doing with that switching defense because it doesn't make any sense. There's no backup coverage. Like when Dallas and Houston played and switched, I'll give you guys an example. Switched with Houston. Switched with AD. It's like when Fred VanVleet would pick up AD on a switch, or Dylan Brooks, or Jalen Green, or Amen Thompson. They would front the post. They had a plan. They said, if AD gets a switch, we're going to front the entry pass, right? We're going to defend on the front side, and then we're going to have a guy on the backside ready to basically double team him as soon as he catches it. The Lakers aren't even doing that. Like they're just like, nah, just defend him straight up, and that's not working. They did it against Dallas. It didn't work. They did it against Houston. That got torched. And then they did it against the Spurs, and that got smoked too as well. And now what's happening is that teams are not able to flip it the other way. So Stephon Castle and Devin Vassell basically would draw Rui, who's already not a great defender. They draw Rui out on the perimeter. They draw AD out on the perimeter. And because the Lakers are worried about, that individual defensive player is concerned about, the open three or the open jumper or whatever. Devin Vassell's case, he was hot today, so he was knocking down shots. So that's the case. They're just getting blown by. Like everything's a blow by. Like literally everything was a blow by today. I don't think I've seen this many guards, this many blow bys in a single game this season, like the way that we had today. And like it got to a point where it was so easy for the Spurs to score that it felt like the Lakers gave up. Like they're just like whatever. Like they weren't even trying to take. Like they wouldn't even take fouls. That's the crazy part to me. Like there were opportunities where just go take a foul, go make them take free throws. Like when Houston played the Lakers and AD wanted to get free throws or get a layup, Houston said, "No, we're just going to foul you. You're going to have to take free throws the entire game. We won't give you a layup." But the Lakers weren't doing that. Stephon Castle can go right at Rui, get a layup. Rui won't even take a foul. Like he's trying to defend after the guy's already been beat, and he has no chance of defending it. And same thing with Devin Vassell. He was doing the same thing to us. And then you get the Harrison Barnes post-ups, which end up drawing fouls on Austin. I don't know. Like I know there's going to be like conversation about like Braun playing poorly, him having a lot of turnovers, which is a problem. That's not something that we can survive. But the defense today was horrendous, and I think the poor defense starts with switching. We have to stop switching. Like at some point, we have to stop doing that because we keep doing that, and it's killing the Lakers. Like it's an automatic bucket, and I don't know what it is. There was a play in the second quarter or the third quarter. I think it was the second quarter where there was like a miscommunication with AD and I think Max Christie, and Chris Paul just goes down the lane, and even Chris Paul is like not even sure like if he should take this layup attempt. He actually hesitates. I want to say like at the free throw line, and Braun is the low man, and I think he had either Keldon Johnson or Harrison Barnes in the corner. So that would be like the kick out. But there's other guys, there's other Laker players that could rotate to help. Braun doesn't even contest it. He just watches it go. So, like, I don't know what it is that's making the Lakers think that their coverage is our best, the best defensive coverage is switching. But if that's not working and they're not just scoring, the Lakers aren't getting the defensive rebounds off of that stuff either. So you're like compounding the issue. So I honestly think what's happening is JJ thinks that if we switch and my guys play enough defense, like if the person who's individual plays enough defense, if he does a good enough job to force a miss, we could just grab the rebound and go out and run. They're not doing that. Like if Austin forces a miss somehow, or if the guy that's trying to attack Austin or Rui or whoever it is, if they force a miss, nobody is coming to crash the glass. Especially if AD is out on the perimeter because he's guarding Wemby or something like that. It's not happening. And I don't know. Again, I'm not saying it because I think the whole team is not doing it. But when Braun is the low man, when he is the guy that's closest to that baseline, closest to the rim, he's not rebounding in traffic. He's not going to do it. Like he's going to preserve his body. He's 40 years old. Whatever reason you want to give that, it is what it is. I need JJ to see that. Like I need JJ to see that, like, if you're expecting a backside rotation to happen off of these switches or off of these coverages, it's not going to happen. It's not happening. That rebound is not there. So if you're going to keep telling Rui, hey, Rui, you got to go out and chase the guy on the perimeter, it's not happening. Like that rebound is not going to be caught unless it's like a very easy rebound that goes directly in the direction of our players. Like if they're contested rebounds, the other team is going to get them. Today, if the shot was a perimeter shot off of a switch, like you're asking Austin Reeves to box out, I think it was a Charles Bassey or something like that. Like The dude has like a foot on him. Like it's a disadvantage, like from the jump. So it's I don't know what point JJ's trying to make with this defense, but it has been horrendous, dude. This switching defense is killing the Lakers. Like they do not have the personnel. Like you have to run a lineup of, like in theory, you have to run a lineup of like Max, DFS, Vando, or Cam, because Vando's not available right now, Braun and AD to run an all switching offense, or sorry, all switching defense. That's the only lineup right now that you could probably run that can all switch competently and all be same size guys with decent athleticism and whatnot, and not have a compromised defense completely. That doesn't mean that they'll stop them, but like that's your best like option in regards to that. And we're not doing that. Like we don't run like those kind of high versatility lineups right now, and we're doing switching like the worst type of switching. The 1-5 switch is the worst switching that you could do, especially against a guy like Victor Wembanyama. Like I'm very confused. I can't come up with any logic to explain why JJ is doing this switching thing. Maybe there's something that we don't know behind the scenes about their communication defensively that's causing this to happen. But after how bad it looked against Dallas, I don't want to say shocked, but I'm like very surprised that we just went with that. Like we just said, yeah, we're going to switch everything from the jump. I don't even think we did that against the Spurs the first two games. So I'm very confused as to like why that's happening. Like if the Lakers continue to do this, their defense is going to crater big time because teams are finding. I mean, the teams basically know, oh, okay, all we have to do is just run one screen, get our point guard to screen for AD is to screen AD at the start of the possession at the 22-second mark, and now he's on the perimeter. Now the Lakers have no backside help at all. Period. So I don't know. I don't know if it's a JJ thing. I don't know if it's a thing the players want to do. I don't know what it is, but I thought it was just a poor performance by the Lakers overall, and I think the Spurs players just outplayed them. So no deep analysis, no film today. It wasn't good. The film wasn't good today, so there's not very specific stuff that I want to cover. The switching has got to stop. The Lakers they have to stop the stupid switching that we talk about on Lakers Detailed. And we'll just see what happens. We'll see if the Lakers can figure this stuff out and get a hold of their defense. Hopefully, we get a better game. I think Braun had a slow game, sort of a lesser than Braun game that we usually get. So hopefully, the next game, since we're getting back into the motion, he'll be a little bit better. But yeah, this is one of those games where I don't like the idea. I don't like the fact that we dropped this game because you want to get your wins early. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see if the Lakers adjust. We'll see what's going on. You know, these fires are still going on. Maybe that's still in the back of their minds, but games have to be played and defense has to be played. And so the Lakers have to figure that out. So as always, we're right at the 15-minute mark, which was my ultimate goal. I appreciate all the folks that joined for Lakers Extra Detailed. I would like to keep these to 10 and 15 minutes, ideally with some game film that I just kind of have recorded to the side. I couldn't do it today because the tape was just awful. Just a garbage game. Just throw this away because there's nothing to learn positively from this game. But I appreciate all the folks that were able to join. I hope you guys enjoyed sort of a more concise way of doing this analysis and getting right to like the meat of the issue as opposed to just screaming and arguing around in circles. So as always, if you do get the opportunity, head over to YouTube and subscribe to the channel so you can join us on our weekly live streams with me and Raj. I'll continue to do these Lakers Extra Detailed for the post games, and hopefully we finally get back on the winning side of the column so we can talk about some good stuff that we're seeing have happen. But as always, I appreciate all the folks for tuning in. And if nothing else, I hope everybody's safe, especially out in Southern California. And I hope you guys have a great one. Take this game and throw it away, man. There's nothing to learn here. We just got to get it together. We got to get back to Lakers basketball. I appreciate the folks tuning in. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Take it easy.